I'm a disgruntled Eagles fan, and we're awesome.
Welcome back, guys. This is the last Eagles update. I mean, 1 out of 2. I only did 2 of these this offseason. I slacked, and the game's tomorrow, and I could have posted this a lot earlier, but this is the most up-to-date Eagles update. And I've been notorious for uploading Saturday nights for recap videos, preview videos, whatever, night before. So this is a routine. You got at least the morning tomorrow to watch it. But here's my take on the last few bits, and I'm going to do some little predictions here and there. But let's start off with the free agency, what I missed. There's been a few trades, and I feel like this is the most complete offseason Howie has ever done, and I'll elaborate more on that once I'm done talking about free agency. Hopefully this is under 20 minutes long, because the last one was 43 minutes. That's a whole documentary or a whole podcast. But let's start it off. We acquired defensive back Ugo Amade from Seattle in exchange for tight end JJ Arcega-Whiteside. We did some waivings. I'm going to put it up on the screen here. But yeah, we waived a few people. There's a few people that we've signed, released, signed to practice squad, then released again. I don't know. I feel bad for them if they have to move. I would absolutely hate getting signed, re-signed, cut, waived, signed on practice squad, cut off practice squad, but I guess that's the name of the business. We agreed to trade defensive back Ugo Amade to the Titans in exchange for a swap of late round draft picks in 2024. So we got defensive back Ugo Amade. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but we signed him. This is what I was talking about. We acquired him from a trade, the defensive back, Ugo, and then we immediately trade him. Like, what the hell? I feel bad for him. He probably moved to Philly, got an apartment, and then immediately traded, unless if the Eagles told him that he was just going to get traded to the Titans in case, hopefully, he was able to move from Seattle to Tennessee swiftly, not from all the way from Seattle to Philadelphia down to Tennessee. That would be one hell of a haul. We did a trade on August 30th. We acquired safety Chancey Gardner-Johnson and a 7th round pick in 2025 from the Saints in exchange for the 2023 5th round draft pick and later of the Eagles' 2 6th round draft picks in 2024. Shit, this guy, he was on the all-rookie team in 2019, I believe, and Tice and I we were talking about this guy. Maybe I'll clip that, but he was known for hitting the guy getting hit in the face by that one guy.
Oh, sure. This happened well after the play. I mean, it's over. The play's over. Whoa. I don't even know what that was about.
And it was just crazy. It was a crazy clip. It was funny. I could not stop watching it on the podcast. Check that podcast out. Is episode 104. Yeah, go check out episode 104. I will not clip that into here. But if you want to see more analysis on safety Chancey boy, then go check that one out. But I love his character. I feel like the Saints and Eagles fan bases are pretty similar in that we have a lot of hatred and we cling on to not scrappy, but little flame in players, little fight, we got something to earn, we got something to prove, and we're gonna prove it. If you guys are gonna like it or not, and we're gonna play a certain way if you guys like it or not. So I feel like that's Trey screaming outside. Yeah, so I love this trade. I love this safety. I feel like his personality is going to fit with the Eagles team very, very well, and I feel like he's going to have a big impact really fast. Hopefully we can keep him because he seems like a solid player. And when I looked on the NFL, everyone was commenting Wowie Roseman, and everyone seemed like they were loving him up. So I feel like this was a very great move, and all the Saints fans were butthurt and were sad that he left because I feel like he was a fan favorite, or that's what it sounded like. I don't know too much on him other than that one wins going at him, Bears Saints game, and then just from what I've heard from Saints fans that everyone seems to love him. And then another trade happened the day after that, or 2 days later. Traded wide receiver Jalen Reagor to Vikings for a 7th round pick in 2023 and a conditional 4th round pick in 2024 that would change to a 5th if certain statistical marks are not met. Guess what, guys? This is why we got the flawless free agency. This is like bread and butter, bro. This is perfect. Howie Roseman literally completed the full circle. He worked on, I said this last episode, so check that out please, because I have more analysis on this subject. But we went from drafting Jordan Davis, drafting Nakobe Dean, getting Hassan Reddick, getting a true number 1 receiver in A.J. Brown. We got safety Chancey. We worked on our cornerback needs. We got James Bradbury. We got, maybe running backs are some issues, but like running backs are so interchangeable in this league, and maybe Miles Sanders will go off. But we worked on our offensive line. We got Cam Jurgens. We improved our defensive line in the draft. Like this, Howie Roseman literally had the perfect offseason in my mind. And this is crazy because I don't know, I haven't seen something like this since the 2017 offseason when Alshon Jeffrey was drafted, I believe, the first year that he was there, and he literally said in a press conference, I'm here to win the Super Bowl, and literally the first year they won the Super Bowl. So I'm getting the same vibes as that. Hopefully we can actually do something. But we got rid of Jalen Reagor and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the 2 most hated players on our team. And we cut them. We got rid of them. We literally, chef's kiss. And analysis, I'm going to put this up if I can find it.
The Philadelphia Eagles will win the Super Bowl, and here's why. The Eagles just replicated exactly what they did in 2017 that led them to a championship. Prior to the season, the Eagles moved on from a highly drafted wide receiver who wasn't a favorite with the fans and replaced him with a young, promising player in the secondary. And last week, the Eagles did the exact same thing again. They traded Jalen Reagor, who was highly drafted and hated amongst fans, and replaced him with C.J. Gardner-Johnson, a young, promising player in the secondary. It led them to a Super Bowl in 2017, and it will lead to another one in 2022.
But this guy dives deep into similarities between this season and 2017. And this guy here went into analysis how similar this offseason was comparatively to the 2017 offseason, and then we went to the Super Bowl. Just the trades, because one of the comparisons from this year to the 2017 season is that we traded away our 1st round pick that was hated, and it was a very high pick, but everyone hated him. And then we got a cornerback, I believe it was the guy Robinson, I think, or it was Ronald Darby. I think it was Ronald Darby. Or Patrick Robinson. It was either one of those guys. We traded away Jalen Reagor, a high 1st round pick. Everyone hated him, and then we got Chancey boy. So very similar. I'm going to pop that up if I can find the video, but he dives deep into the similarities. And I just want to state that I'm riding high on the Eagles too this season, but I have to take a few steps back because this is a recipe for disaster because everyone is jumping on the Eagles train. Everyone and their mom is jumping on this Eagles train just because of our off-season moves. At the beginning of the off-season, everyone was saying that we're going to go last in the division. We're not going to make it anywhere. Jalen Hurts is going to have an awful season. This is another rebuild. And it's not looking like that anymore. And everyone jumped from the Eagles being last to being 1st in the division and going to the Super Bowl. Some of the takes that I've read, a lot of analysis have us being the 1st seed in the NFC East. Or not NFC East, but the NFC side, and everyone was just at least having us win a division, and maybe even the second seed or first or second seed is what most people are having the Eagles on, which is just crazy. What a from everyone predicting that we would go last to being first in the NFC. Yeah, that's crazy. Like I need to jump off that bandwagon a little bit more, because that can be very dangerous of a thing, because you know how the Eagles are. They raise our hopes like this, and this is one of the seasons that I feel like the Eagles are raising a lot of hopes, a lot of very, very high hopes, very, very high. It's just going to get destroyed very, very fast. So, yeah, I need to dial it down a little bit, but I'm kind of on that trade, and this is going to backfire for a lot of people, because this is what the Eagles do each and every year. They get your hopes up, and then they do shitty. They don't even make the playoffs. Like, I'm almost about to predict that the Eagles won't make the playoffs just because of how highly everyone's speaking on them. But I'm on that train. I've been high on that train the past few podcasts, so it'd be hypocritical if I didn't bring that up. But I'm just trying to dial it down a little bit, because I realize that I've got too lost in the sauce, as the cool kids are saying now. They've been saying that for years. I don't know why I just said that, but yeah, I just need to dial it back, because I don't want for my feelings' sake. And yeah, they do this every year, but this is one of the years that they resonate the most, just because they did, honestly, like, I feel like it's facts that they had a statistically, like, perfect season. Like, they improved in all the worst conditions on the teams, or they improved in every worst spot on the team. And they drafted, they traded well, they traded away players that everyone hated. So I think this was still a flawless offseason. I feel like I can still say that. But are they going to do anything with it? I do not know. But let's continue about free agency, because that was a long tangent. We're already 11 minutes in. We released Anthony Harris and quarterback Reed Snennen from the practice squad. So we originally signed those two on the practice squad, but then we released them off the practice squad. And we released Devin Allen, but luckily we got him to the practice squad. That's why we have a perfect offseason, because 2 podcasts ago I was saying that if we don't sign Devin Allen to the practice squad, then it's not, our flawless season is over. That would be our last piece. And maybe if Jalen Reagor got cut, and or JJ or Reagor Whiteside got cut, and literally Howie Roseman heard me, and he did all of that. And the NFL gods heard me too, and sent that message to Howie Roseman, and Howie Roseman received it, and did even more of a flawless season than anyone could have predicted. And then we also signed running back Trey Sermon off of waivers. He used to be a San Francisco 49ers running back, in which they waived him, and we were going to make a trade for him, but luckily we scooped him up off of waivers. And yeah, and another little side note too, it's just interesting to see that Reagor went to Justin's team, the Vikings, and then JJ Reagor Whiteside went to DK Metcalf's team, Seattle Seahawks. That's duly noted, because Justin Jefferson was picked before Jalen Reagor, and JJ Reagor Whiteside was picked 1 or 2 picks before DK Metcalf. So it's kind of interesting that both of those players did really bad, and we could have had DK Metcalf or Justin Jefferson on our team, and those two end up just going to those teams that they picked up the superstar wide receivers on. And yeah, I personally, if we would have, I know this is going to sound whack, but personally I like this outcome better. I'd rather have Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, because a high first round draft pick in Devontae Smith and AJ Brown a true number 1, because I feel like if we got in Justin Jefferson or DK Metcalf, we wouldn't trade for AJ Brown, and we obviously wouldn't have gotten Devontae Smith. So we would have only had Justin Jefferson or DK Metcalf on our team. I don't think we would have been as aggressive in trading for a wide receiver, because we would end up having to pay Justin Jefferson a shit ton of money or DK Metcalf a shit ton of money, and we wouldn't have spent so much money on AJ Brown. But now I got AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, in which I feel like Devontae Smith is still on his rookie contract, and we can sign him to a mega deal later on, but we can save at least 3 years, I believe. Yeah, because he's only on his second year. Even maybe sign him to a 5th round contract, or 5th year rookie extension contract or whatever that is. 5th year option. Green apple flavored. But let's get to training camp. I'm going to do the same thing that I did. It's on the screen now probably, but at Eagles Galaxy, go hit them up on Instagram. This is where I got all the information. This is where I got all the screenshots. But this is only like 4 or 5 days that he recaps, but here are some of the highlights that I got from his Instagram posts. And yeah, like last time I was going to have them on the screen. They're probably already up there now. So yeah, this is just some of the notes over at training camp the past month. I think the last one that we went over was the 10th, or the earliest one that I put up screenshots was the 10th of August, so I think it goes up to the 24th of August now. I think we only have 4. Yeah, but there's not that many big things to kind of point out during the training camp. Nothing interesting happened too much. I mean, excuse me. I've been talking too fast. Got sneezes, hiccups, coughs, all on this podcast. It's a Grody Eagles update, not podcast. I'm used to saying podcast. It's a League of the Wings. But a few notes from the training camp is that a few times it got heated. I think it was Andre Dillard that got into a couple of fights in a singular day and just got heated with Devontae Smith. There's some Smith beef. And I'm going to read the tweet from one of the analysis that I believe was close by. Yeah, Josh, this is from Josh, but he says that joint practices got spicy. Brown's Richard LeCounte extended his trash talking toward Eagles Devontae Smith. Smith says last time he saw LeCounte, he put him on the bench in reference to Alabama-Georgia days. So during the Eagles-Browns training camp, it got a little spicy between Smith and the cornerback. And I put up that tweet so that you can actually read it and you're not just listening to me stumble like you usually do and mispronounce words and names. But A.J. Brown continues to dominate. Jalen Hurts had a few really good days. He had 6 touchdowns in a singular training camp, which was really good. So Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown continued to dominate, but that's really all that happened. There's not that many interesting things that happened. I mean, we got burnt a couple times by Tyreek Hill when we played against the Dolphins, and our defense needs to step it up a little bit. That's a little I know it was just secondary and third backups that played the Dolphins game and the Browns game, but I feel like I don't know. I would like to see our second guys and third guys do a little bit better. But I mean, hey, like if they got cut, they probably got cut or waived. So that's most likely what happened to those guys. That didn't really play well, but hopefully that doesn't happen during the regular season, that we got dominated by the Dolphins like that. Not that we played the Dolphins, but dominated like that. And anyway, this regular season, I will be pissed. But that was a little concerning to see just our second guys and third guys get smoked like that. I know it's only our second and third guys, but it would be refreshing to see our second and third down guys, but our second and third guys be strong so that we have more of a complete team. That's the only concerning thing that I would like to point out in training camp and the preseason games. I guess preseason games, now this is more preseason game talk than training camp talk. But yeah, the preseason game, I guess I naturally just transitioned into the preseason games. But yeah, training camp, there's nothing really happened during training camp that's noteworthy. But there is a couple of things that are noteworthy during the preseason, the couple of preseason games that I missed, the Dolphins and the Cleveland one. Nakobe Dean got a 77.4 football PFF grade and an 85.4 run defense grade on the PFF. I think it's pro football. I forgot what the other F stands for, I think. But you can look it up. Defense struggled like I just talked about against the Dolphins. But yeah, like I said, I would just like to see a little bit more of unity and more of a complete team in our second and third down backs. But they were playing against first backs or first rounds of players, or like their starting team against the Dolphins for a few possessions, I think, or I believe so. That makes a little sense. Second and third guys against first round or first starters, it's kind of challenging to do. And the Devin Allen TD, I talked about it on the podcast, but That was a nice game-winning touchdown by him, and boy, he has speed. That's why I wanted him at least on the practice squad, because I feel like he's 26. He's an Olympic-winning track runner, so I feel like he still needs maybe a couple of years to get adjusted to the NFL. Definitely can't get adjusted just into the NFL just the first few months without even playing the sport in high school or college or even in the little leagues. But yeah, I feel like if we keep him on practice squad for 2 years, this year and next year, and if he stays the same and he doesn't improve, then we can cut him, obviously. But I feel like we need to give him a couple of years just to get adjusted to the league, because I don't know. I just think that he could be really valuable if he learns his routes. The one thing that why we demoted him to practice squad is because he did not look good in special teams, and then that's the one thing when you do start is that if you can't look in during the special teams, then you more likely won't get a spot on the team, unless obviously practice squad is still a spot on the team, but it's practice squad. You're not a backup or anything, so the likelihood that you're going to play is very, very slim. I mean, flashback to a couple of years when Carson Wentz last year, or second to last year, when we had to get practice squad guys like Quez Watkins and literally no receivers coming on from practice squad, like Travis Fulgham and stuff. So there is a chance that Devin Allen could shine if, dear God, I hope this doesn't happen, knock on wood, if something bad happens to our receiving core where we do need a practice squad guy, then maybe he will shine, but I hope that does not come to the case, and I don't think it will, because we have too many good players. But yeah, so that's kind of the highlights of the free agents and training camp and preseason. Yeah, so I went over everything that I wrote down. There's a lot, but not as much as the last one. I guess one page equals 20 minutes because I had a front and back to this. I had a front and back to this last Eagles update. Yeah, I can just do this. This is my notes for last time, and that was a 43-minute video. So maybe one page equals 20 minutes, which is really crazy to think about because this is obviously not a big page, but it's just a lot of information. But this is the last segment, predictions. So I'm going to predict the record, give player stats. I think Nick Sirianni is going to win Coach of the Year. I stated this on the prediction. I think it was my stretch. But the reason why I think Nick Sirianni is going to win Coach of the Year is because Nick Sirianni is in very good position. He scraped the Eagles into the playoffs last year, but he didn't win the division last year. I think he came second. Yeah, he came second, but he still got the Eagles in, so he limped into the playoffs. Got lucky a few games. They didn't look great in the playoffs at all. Got destroyed by the Buccaneers, but no fucking doubt we got destroyed by the Bucs. We got destroyed by the Bucs. Not really a game, but I think just because if he can kind of flip that narrative from a couple of years ago with how everyone was just trashing on the Eagles, Eagles are going to be in rebuild for the next 5 years. Just the whole shit show with Carson Wentz, Doug Peterson, that entire fiasco. But then Nick Sirianni comes in. He had a very good chance last year to win it, but if Nick Sirianni comes in year 2, completely dominates. If he somehow gets Jalen Hurts even in the conversation of MVP, not even necessarily having... If Jalen Hurts wins MVP, I think Nick Sirianni is definitely going to win Coach of the Year. But if Nick Sirianni somehow gets Jalen Hurts even in the top 3 or top 5 in the MVP race, then I feel like that's going to help him a shit ton. And if he can get the Eagles to win the division and to win it convincingly, a 3rd seed, then I feel like Nick Sirianni is going to win or has a very good chance of winning. And if he gets the Eagles to 1st seed or 1st or 2nd seed in the NFC, then he's definitely going to win. But I feel like he has a lot of intangibles, and he improved the team a shit ton with I guess Howie Roseman did, but I don't know how much say Nick Sirianni had in those decisions. Yeah, I think Nick Sirianni is going to win Coach of the Year, and I think Jalen Hurts is going to come close to winning the MVP. I honestly predicted him to win MVP, so take that as you will. Playoff performance, I think that we are going to get to the NFC Championship and then lose. I don't think we're going to get it to the Super Bowl. I feel like we're going to get into the playoffs nonetheless. My low is that we're going to lose in the divisional round. We're going to get to the divisional round and then lose. That's my low, but my ceiling or I guess that's my floor, but my ceiling is NFC Championships and then lose. I don't think we're going to make it to the Super Bowl. I don't think this is too young of a team to get to the Super Bowl or make a Super Bowl push. I guess if you make it to the NFC Championship, that is a Super Bowl push. But I think we're going to at least win the wild card game and at least get to the divisional round. I don't think we're going to get past the divisional round, but I think we have at least the solid of a team to at least get past the first round, because if we were able to get to the first round of the playoffs last year with even worse of a roster, the team last year was not even half the team that this year is. But that's why I think we're going to at least get past the wild card. If we were able to make a wild card last year, I think we're going to at least, get past it, because I think we have a strong enough team to at least make the wild card and then win the wild card. And then player stats, I think I predicted that Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown will both have 1,100 yards. Devontae Smith 6 touchdowns, A.J. Brown 9 touchdowns. Miles Sanders is going to get 1,000 yards rushing too. One of our first 1,000 yards rushers in such a long time. I don't know when the last time an Eagle had a 1,000-yard rusher. Let me look that up real quick. When was the last time Eagles had a 1,000-yard season by RB? 2010? In 2008, McCoy was selected as second-team All-American. His 21 rushing touchdowns were third in the nation, only one behind 2 years. In 2010, McCoy took over starting running back and broke the 1,000-yard barrier. Ain't no fucking way. What the hell? Wait. We've hadn't had a 1,000-yard rusher since McCoy? Oh, no. Oh, that's actually kind of crazy. Okay, so McCoy was the last time we had a 1,000. Damn. McCoy was insane. In 2013, McCoy had 1,600 yards rushing. But the last time that we had a 1,000-yard rusher was the last time that we had a 1,000-yard receiver. Jeremy Maclin was the last time we had a 1,000-yard receiver in 2014. And in that year was the last time we had a 1,000-yard rusher in LaShawn McCoy at 1,300 yards, which was absolutely absurd. I'm glad that I looked that up. But it's just a shit show since that. A list of the top rushers on our team since LaShawn McCoy was DeMarco Murray in 2015, Ryan Matthews 2016, LeGarrette Blount 2017, Josh Adams 2018, Miles Sanders 2019 and 2020, and Jalen Hurts 2021. So we've been just a shit show for fucking the run game. That's insane. McCoy dominated since 2010 to 2014. Brian Westbrook from 2003 to 2008. Deuce Staley, that's fucking nuts. Wait. Oh, okay, never mind. But that's just crazy. Damn. Ronald Cunningham had our rushing leader for 4 years straight running Cunningham. Randall Cunningham was our leading rusher. That's fucking insane. But let's get to the Eagles schedule. I'm just going to go down since it's almost at 30. I don't want this to go over 30 because it's already long enough and I still got to edit it. So, Eagles schedule. So I'm just going to quickly go down and say who we're going to win and who we're going to lose. So I'm going to count the wins on my hand. So, we're going to win against the Lions, win against the Vikings, win against the Commanders, win against Jaguars, lose against the Cardinals, win against the Cowboys, win against the Steelers. So that's 6 wins. Win against the Texans, win against the Commanders, win against the Colts, lose to the Packers, win against Titans, win against Giants, win against Bears, lose to the Cowboys, and then win the last 2. So I'm gonna have 14-3. So we're going to lose to the Cowboys, Packers, and Cardinals. So we're going 14-3, baby. All I can tell you. And we have the second easiest schedule in the entire league. Second easiest schedule, and we have this roster. We have this fucking roster, and we're the second easiest roster or fucking schedule. Super Bowl, baby. I'm gonna win the Super Bowl. That's all I gotta say. And see you on the next time. See you tomorrow on the reactions, baby.